Back again, back at it. I'm on my way. I'm actually about to park at my daughter's school. I'm about to pick her up. But I wanted to have a conversation about hydrolysis. I know it's random, right? I had a conversation with one of my coworkers about the importance of drinking water and why it's essential for the body to have sufficient H2O. And now there are many reasons why water is great and essential in us, but I want to talk about one way in particular, and it's hydrolysis. And we all know what proteins are. Proteins are generally long chains of amino acids. Amino acids are molecules that our body requires to perform some of the basic biochemical functions. All right, we can't live without these amino acids, and we cannot live without these proteins, and we cannot live without the water to break down the proteins so that we can use the amino acids. Well, these processes happen so often that the body requires a sufficient amount of water to keep you alive, right? So when we don't sufficiently hydrate, the body, in its efforts to keep you alive, will try to find sources of H2O from wherever it can, usually from foods, right? H2O is not just in water, so the body has to work a little extra at it. You could think of it that way, which requires, more effort from the body, which can also lead to the body holding on to excess water because it does not trust you to do the things that you are supposed to do, like drink water. The mind's like, I don't know, this clown, I don't know when they're going to drink water. I need to hold on to this little bit of water that I have for as long as possible so I can keep this person alive. And funnily enough, the way to get rid of excess water retention is to drink more water. You send the signal to the body, it's like, okay, I got this, like I get it. I need to drink more water. All right, you don't have to hold on to all this extra water that you're doing for my benefit. I know, but I got this. And the body's like, whew, thanks. No, you just freed up some resources to perform other functions. So that's kind of the nature of the conversation we had. And then that led me to thinking about resource allocation in the body. So think about someone who is a smoker and or maybe obese. Maybe they're not getting enough sleep at night. Maybe just live a poor lifestyle. They're not dieting, they're not exercising properly. All these things. The body will still try. They understand the mission. The mission is to keep us alive. So they will try to overcome all the damage that you're doing to your body in an effort to keep you alive. All right? But what happens, this is a resource allocation thing is so important. There's only a finite number of resources. Think of it that way. If your body is expending resources to mend or to mend the damage you're doing with smoking, to compensate for the fact that you're overweight or that you're not eating properly or you're not exercising, when you get injured, it has to pull resources from all these other areas that the current resources are being allocated to keep you alive. But the body only has so many resources. So you make it much more difficult and much more taxing on your body to recover from illness and injury. when you aren't doing the right things. You know? I like the idea of just make it easier on your body to keep you alive. Another reason I think it may be important to really focus on doing the right things was I've had the opportunity to shadow a few surgeons locally, and one of the common themes that I see when you walk into an operating room, I don't know if it's a man, a woman, I don't know their race half the time. The majority of the time, especially regarding general surgery, the only thing that is apparent to me is that whoever's laying on this table is overweight. All you see is a stomach that's gas, it's blown up, so the surgeons have easier access to save your life. But I can't tell. I don't know what I'm looking at. It's like, oh, this is a big stomach. Now, there's more. Once they're inside of the stomach, the more inflammation and swelling that you have going on the inside, you make it more challenging for the physician to find the things they need to find, so everything is sticking together. You're making it difficult for people to save your life because of the poor decisions that you're making. And of course, that extends to your children and your family, which brings up another point. My daughter, she started having panic attacks randomly. And I would ask her about, what's going on? Like panic attacks when I would leave the house, particularly at night or for long periods of time. And I would ask her, what's happening? She's like, Dad, I'm just afraid I'm gonna lose you. I'm like, it's understandable. This world is crazy. People are not well, as you all know. But she says this to me. I'm like, okay, I thought about it, and I'm always looking for parenting moments, like these moments where the next thing you say will be locked in for the rest of your child's life. That's how I view it. And because I view it that way, I treat these moments with immense care. And I operate with the highest of precision in my thinking and my response when it comes to when I'm going to answer these questions in these moments that I'm always looking out for. So in this particular moment, I tell her, you know that I work out, you know that I count my calories, I weigh my food, I make sure we're getting adequate sleep. I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that I'm going to be here for you for as long as possible. Now, I can't do anything about any kind of accident, but if I go out, it's not going to be because of something I did not do to save my life, or to make it easier for someone else to save my life. Which started another conversation with my daughter and I. It's like, okay, I don't want her to know what it feels like to lose me. Eventually it's going to happen, right? The nature of living is losing. That's something that we have to accept. But I tell her that because I don't want her to have to know what it feels like to lose me, and because I want to show my appreciation for her love by doing everything that I possibly can to make sure that I am staying around for as long as possible. Like, that's how we show appreciation for those that love us. Presence. Sticking around. Being there. so they don't have to experience losing you prematurely. We can't do anything about accidents. They're going to happen. But a premature exit at my own doing is not something that I can live with. So, I think that's a worthy thought to think about. Doing the necessary things for the people that love you so that they don't have to experience life without you prematurely. But once again, think dope and not dumb.